Right, but it took me a long time to get the framing correct on that. Jesus Christ. Well, so the reason I'm talking to you at the moment is because I'm so angry, right? I'm so annoyed. At my house in general, there's these people downstairs who are just going on and on and on about things that I don't really even care about, you know? And I'm trying to do something productive, you know, with my time, because, you know, when you're at university, it's so easy to get caught up in, you know, these sort of complex social relations with people that just sap so much of your energy. And I think it's important every now and then to really just be at peace with yourself, with oneself, and just take the time to be on your own for a moment. And that's what I'm trying to do this evening. And I'm at home and I'm using my computer to watch the very popular UK comedy TV show Taskmaster. And suddenly I find I can't watch it anymore. Now it's taken me quite a while to position the framing of the shot correctly, because I know that framing is very important for content like this. So I've had to position the camera here sort of in lent. My phone camera is actually lent up against the screen of my computer at the moment, so you can't see what's going on the computer. But if you could just think for a moment, if you could see what's on my computer, you would know that I can't do what I want to do right now, because it says up there, "Pardon the interruption," on the Netflix, because the Wi-Fi just is not working here, and it says there, "No internet secured, VM2282273." And I was just thinking, watching that, as my blood boiled, isn't that just like us, you know? No internet secured. That's like us, that's like humans, that's like humanity in general. And so I thought of this analogy, which I was going through my head, and I just thought I needed to say to someone. I needed to put it into words, put it into something solid, you know, something concrete. So here's the analogy, right? Humanity. Take the example of a bottle and a mug, you see? Now, I've just had to flush this one out because this one had residue in it. It took a while to get ready for this. So, I mean, look, the most important point, right, is that the bottle itself, the plastic bottle, is transparent. And so this is the bottle that I have that is the most transparent, but I don't work in the fields, I don't have strong muscles, and my display here requires me to wield this in quite a manner. So this full, large bottle, I estimated at about 1.5 litres here, maybe 1.75, but definitely not 2. It's just too heavy for me to wield, so I'm going to have to go to a different bottle which has a label on it, unfortunately. But on this label I was noticing that it says here, this is quite a famous brand of smoothie, innocent smoothie. Mango and passion fruit is their most popular flavour, I'm led to believe. But it also says on the bottom there, I don't know if you can see, mango and passion fruit and apples. Now, I was noticing, because I drink a lot of these innocent smoothies, that many of the smoothies have apples in them. All of them do, in fact. It's the one consistent ingredient across all of their products. See, here, you might not be able to read because it's smaller text here, but in this Invigorate green smoothie, it says kiwi, cucumber, apple, and matcha. I don't know if the camera focused for that one, but I assure you that's what it said. And now this other one as well, blueberries, peaches, and apples at the end. It's always and apples. Always and apples at the end, just tacked on there. Guavas, pineapples, and apples. See, it just permeates everything in that business. It's really an apple business at the core of it all. And this is the sort of thing that most, you know, the pedantry wouldn't pick up on. But I have an eye for it, you see. I pick these things up. Anyway, this is the bottle that I'm going to use. It has a label on it, unfortunate, but, you know, it cannot be avoided. And it had this inside it, the mango, passion fruit, and apples smoothie inside. I'd already drank it, but there was a small residue inside, and as I was opening it as part of the demonstration, which you'll see soon, I smelt that there was some more in there. So I just washed it. I just flushed it out with water, just out of my window here, just the one I piss out of at the end of the evening when the sun's gone down and I'm trying to be tucked into. Anyway, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. Sometimes I pee out of the window, and it's not a big deal, but some people make it a big deal, and sometimes I just have to live with that. Anyway, examine the bottle. Clear. Clear enough, at least. Maybe you cannot see the area which is bound in paper, but if there was something in this bottle, some liquid, even a solid object that someone had squeezed in there, see? If I got just this here, this is going to be easier to remove afterwards. This screwdriver, put the screwdriver in, see, you can see that the screwdriver is in there. It's a transparent container. It's clear. It's honest with the viewer. And so exactly, that's what I mean. It's something honest, something that you can trust. You can see through it, and it has many functions as well. As in. Many different mechanisms which go towards the greater function, which is the storage and dispensing of liquid. Now, there was an original liquid inside this, a mango, passion fruit and apple smoothie, but I finished that now. It's gone. Yet I have not discarded the bottle. Why? Because it still has use, because there are there's certain mechanisms that have gone towards the design of this bottle so that it can be drank more easily, that still have use beyond its original intent. Now, the smoothie is gone, yet if I wanted to drink another liquid from this or store something else inside it, I would be able to. And all the while I would know exactly what it was, because I can see through the plastic that it is in there. And I can see exactly the nature of it. Now, this cap on top, it is unlike one of these these ones. Beer bottles. See, they're now all know about these ones. There might be one lying around here. There you go. A crown cap is the name of the design, and you can see it's got those little riffles around the edge, and when it is laid onto the bottle cap, those riffles constrict around it. Now, although I have been able to replace the one on this bottle, and I have done so with quite some force, I would not trust this to contain liquid. I would not trust it to be watertight. And although in many ways they share similarities, these two bottles, they are not the same. Not the same at all, because although I can see through this bottle and I can see through this, and they both have labels and they both contain liquid, forget the fact that this one holds more. It's obviously a larger bottle. That's not relevant. It's that this is not a removable and reusable cap. The mechanism by which it clings to the bottle. Every time I remove it, I deform it slightly, and it is warped, and its function is thus made more difficult, for it to align itself with its original intent, keeping the liquid inside. That becomes more difficult for it every time that it is used. Whereas that is not so with this bottle. See, because I can remove, and I can reattach. Every time. It's a devoted companion of mine as a method of storing liquid, and it will do so forever if I wished it to. But here's the point with this bottle, at least. No mere monkey could remove this lid. I mean, maybe with enough time it could, but you give this to some base animal, and it is firm. See, even if they were able to discern that this, if they want to get to the liquid inside, rather than breaking the bottle, that there might be an easier way, and that easier method might be related to the cap on top, their instinct would be just to pull, and it would not work. It would not come off. And you can see, as I said, I don't work in the fields. I don't have the big, the well-developed muscles of a farmer. But even I, and I do my fair share of polo. I cannot remove it. It remains thus. But with the application of simple mechanical knowledge, I understand that this is kept on by friction, and not friction of a kind that I need to overcome in this direction. you see? But friction in a circular manner, see? I need to rotate the cap about its axis. And there's no glue, there's no attaching method here, you know? And this is in parallel to the mug. Wait, and I bet you're wondering why I haven't spoken about it yet. The mug, of course, without me even having to say, you cannot see through it. It's not transparent. Like in this liquid, there's no liquid in it at the moment that I can demonstrate, see? Oh, such a heavy vessel. If I were to fill this bottle, it doesn't need to be full up to the top, just a small amount of water, that's all we need for the demonstration. Oh, see, wrong lid there, and I was able to guess that. I was able to ascertain that that was the wrong lid because the diameter of this bottle is not the same as the diameter of this lid. And it's important, in order to be able to seal the container, that the diameter of the lid is the same as the diameter of the neck of the bottle. See? This is a more complicated matter than people make it out to be, you know, and you can examine these things deeply. And that's what happens when you're at university like me. I'm doing physics and philosophy, and people say it's a very difficult course, and it is, you know, it's very hard work, but really it trains these mechanisms in your mind, in the way that you think about things, and the way that you can overcome these problems from a mechanical and an academic point of view, you know, in thought, in conversation, in argument. It's really about overcoming problems at its core, and so I'm able to understand these things. Now, that's the point, that's the difference between the mug and the bottle. See, if this mug were full of liquid, and it isn't at the moment, but this bottle is, you can see there is an open pool at the top of this mug, and so if I were to shake it violently, the liquid would arise from it, and splash everywhere, all over me, all over my belongings, my room, everything I hold dear. Not the case with this bottle. I can shake it, you see? It's quite a silly thing to do, shaking a bottle with no intent to aerate it at all, because of course there's no soap in this one, so I cannot aerate it with air bubbles, unfortunately, but that is something I'm willing to do soon. I'm actually a little thirsty, I might... See, that was refreshing. Now there is one flaw to a bottle like this, and it's only in the manner that I'm using it, not the design itself, see? Because of the previous contents of this bottle, because of the fact that it used to have mangoes, passion fruits and apples in it, there was a small taste, a small aroma, you know, that flooded through me as I drank that. I could tell that it had something else other than water in it previously. And that does, you know, that does mar the experience slightly, but overall its practicality is quite impressive. But going back to the cap, there's nothing here to seal it, you know. It's completely hard, solid plastic at the neck and in the lid. There's no glue there to keep it together. It's just friction, but it's not friction in that direction. It's friction circularly, you see. And so it takes a great mind to be able to figure out something like this. And I was just thinking while I was sat here, you know, waiting for my taskmaster to load, because the Wi-Fi here, I mean, it's utterly awful. See, I'm from Bromley. No, fuck. Yeah, the Wi-Fi here is absolutely dog shit, you know, excuse my French. I have got my computer, which Daddy spent a lot of money on, and so I would expect it to be able to pick up the signal from my router, which is just downstairs, just one story below me in the hallway, and I'm not far away from it at all. And I didn't think that our Wi-Fi here was that bad, supposedly, but the connections that I get from my room up here, it's just awful. I'm at the top of the house, in the smallest room of the house. I'm in the loft. God, I've never been in a situation like this before, you know. But I suppose you have to live with it, you know. That's the experience of being at university, learning to live with less. You know, my parents, my allowance has dropped since I've come here, because they've said that, you know, you've got your maintenance loan and we're paying for your rent, so you don't need our help anymore. And they just don't understand, you know, the situation that it's like, what it's like to be living like this. And I think that's why I wanted to make this video, because I don't think anybody really knows what it's like to be me and living the way that I live. Because I'm like the mug, you know. I'm like my Wi-Fi. No internet. Secured, but no internet. So opaque. Not well designed, you know. I haven't made myself like this. I haven't been able to choose my circumstances and the way that I have been built to react to them. You know, it's not part of the way that I've been built. And I haven't been built for this purpose. You know, I've been hiding it from you, what I use this mug for. I don't know if you've been able to see, because I can't see the camera angle, but I feel like this mug in that it's flawed. It's flawed compared to this bottle. This bottle is so precisely made, you see, to fulfill that specific need. And this mug, it does not support that. You can put a liquid inside and shake it up, and it does not stay in, you see. And in many ways, I feel like this mug for that reason, because I cannot be subject to the same abuse that this bottle can, because I have not been constructed to resist it and to contain oneself despite it. I'm like the mug. And just like the mug, not only have I been designed for a lesser purpose than I would be aspiring to and able to recognize, but I'm not being used for it. I'm not being, even for this lesser purpose that the mug is made for, not truly holding liquid, but just supporting it from the bottom. Small moment of joy. Yes, but not only have I not been designed for that, but I'm not even being used for it. See, this mug does not support liquid, it supports my cigarette butts. This is me. This is how I feel. And I feel all the worse. I feel all the more like that mug when I can't connect to the internet. I don't know if I really have any more to say. It still says it, you know. VM2282273, no internet, comma, secured. That's how I feel in these walls. Secure, but no internet, no connection, no application to the outside world, you know. And the question that I think is how can a man like me, you know, a man like this, designed for an inferior purpose, you know, obviously not an intelligent maker, being used even for something other than it was designed, living with pigs. How can I turn from this to this? You see, how do I become one of these? Because I see them all around me. These innocent smoothie bottles, laughing at me.
What are you listening to?
I wish they'd shut up.
Oh, fuck me, Max, that's well depressing.
They really are pigs. Animals, Lord.
Right.
You know, one of them's from Wales.
Hey, Jim.
Anyway, thanks for listening.